Hey, what it is, everybody. This is your boy, Mr. E Boss of the Southside Bosses, coming to you here live on the Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing podcast. You know, the podcast where I be just talking and y'all gonna get something out of it because I don't be saying nothing. You heard me? Glad y'all could tune in with us today. We got a great show for y'all, man. And I just want to let y'all know, man, this is going to be something that is unprecedented. We're bringing things to you that nobody would have ever seen before because we just want you to make sure that you understand that it is getting rough. It is getting rough. We've been saying this for a long time. Been saying this for a very long time that it is getting rough, and it's time to show y'all exactly what we mean. We've been saying this for years upon decades upon centuries that this system had to come to an end soon, right? Well, they're putting it to an end, and y'all are not going to like what the effects of it are. You think it's bad now? It's getting worse. So today we're going to be talking about the unarmed black man that got killed, shot, out there, LA, you know what I'm saying, by the police, and what makes this so unprecedented. You know, well, not unprecedented, but pretty much like it's blatant. It's in front of you now. If it Rodney King wasn't it, then this would be it right here. George Floyd wasn't it, then this would be it right here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's obviously that they are up under certain orders to crank the heat up under our so-called black ass. You know what I'm saying? Melanated people, Asiatic people, we got to come up out of her. We integrated into a burning house, just like MLK said, man, we got to get up out of her. So we're going to be able to bring that to you. We're also going to bring y'all to tell the two Donovans. Y'all, these are stories that y'all probably never even would have heard of unless you was watching BOSS radio or you lived in the vicinity where this is actually taking place. Because, you know, even though we have the internet, we have the news, international news and things of that nature, they don't cover our communities like that. I've shown y'all that. That's why we have Reggae Hour when we do Reggae Hour African news, where we try to bring y'all the news of what's going on over there. I know we've been slipping on that, but we're going to be on it because we have seen some great stories that's coming out of there. Some stories of hope, some stories of perseverance, and also some stories of tragedy. So make sure y'all tune in for that. You can also find us right now. I'm going to take this time to let y'all know y'all can get us on your favorite streaming service. This is Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing. You can find it on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon MP3, Deezer. If you got a podcast, a streaming service that you like to use and it covers podcasts, you'll find us on this. All you have to do is just type in Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing. You see it right here. Oh wow, I was all off. You see it right here, right? Talking but ain't saying nothing. No G's at the end of that because you know sometimes you have to take the G's out of it so that we can get some peace and be able to talk about what's going on because you know real G's they ain't really about that talking. You know what I'm saying? They just want some rectification right now. But anyways, you know, it's like I said, it's going to be a great show. So after a word from one of our sponsors and a little bit of music from your boy personally, Mr. E, boss of the Southside Bosses, we're going to go ahead and get it pumping. You heard me. So I'll make sure y'all tune in, turn up, and zone out for that. And here's a word from our sponsor. Look like we ran into a little bit of difficulty. So, so just bear with me as we go ahead and get this fixed up for you real quick. But you know, we ain't gonna ever come short-handed. You know, this is just the forces that be trying to get us to actually stop doing what we doing, but we ain't gonna do that, right? We're gonna keep it going because on everything I have to keep we have to keep it going. But this I also want to take this time right now to ask you to go ahead and follow us on your follow our other podcasts, which you'll be able to find on our website at sbcmovement.com, where you'll be able to listen to Revolutionary Hour. Revolutionary Hour has the information that you need to get out of the matrix that we're about to cover right now in these stories. You know, because it's too many times that we hear of us these saviors or whatever, these pastors, these preachers or whatnot. They come in and they tell us that they peace and march and all this stuff. It's bigger than that. You know, I said we've been peaceful and we've been marching for 400 years. I think that it's time to go ahead and crank it up on them. But it's a certain way that we have to do this. So we talk about that on Revolutionary Hour. So I want to ask you to follow us. You can find us on all the streaming services that I listed before, and make sure that you share to your family and friends, because I'm telling you, the more of us that gets this knowledge, the more it can be implemented. And with that, we can be able to save ourselves instead of waiting on people that we think has our best interests at heart, and they don't have our best interests at heart. You know they don't have our best interests at heart. So why are you even playing? I'm just saying, you know that they don't have our best interests at heart. If you don't know that by now, if you think that they could still change, then I'm sorry. You're about to get a rude awakening. And you may not even have that awakening. Then you may just go down bootlicking from what we call it. Because we've been showing you this, and we just hope that you actually get it through your heads that this will be something that can change your life. So you already know what it is. And if you don't, again, wake up, please. Because like I said, the more of us that want to be free, the more of us the more likely of a chance that we can actually see freedom. I'm not going to see it in my generation. I already know that. I'm going to die before I see freedom, but I'm hoping my children get it, because that's who needs this information right now. It's the children. So get your children over here, because mothers, you will be raising a new generation of warriors. This is the age of Aquarius, so we're going to be waking up to it all. So it's going to go down. Now, without any further ado, here is a word from one of our sponsors. And while we do this, take this time to share to your family and friends. That way they can get in on this knowledge. You heard me? But we're going to be talking about Jermaine Petite from LA, and we're also going to be talking about the two Donovans after this. You heard me?
Feel the best you and safe with any of our skincare sets. With either soap and oil or soap and butter, or a combination of all three, heal your skin and keep it looking shiny and healthy enough to withstand the sun. No matter what your skin needs, Southside Beauty Care will continue to help you through those rough patches of skin to the smoothness of butter dripping off of your body. Mix and match until you find a skincare regimen that's tailored for your skin and designed to obtain perfection. Come to Southside Beauty Care and see what we have designed specifically for you.
Okay, fine. Let me talk to you for a brief second, Lord. Why is it that you always fall victim to the double-edged sword? Does everybody want to the grave or they can jail the shores? Was a friend to destroy because others wanted the sword. They could not avoid. You listen, feel a toy. Look into my mind and get you understand and record. I don't want to be rude or even stick a finger in the wall. We are here with the wounds.
Let's see love within the tombs, and love has come to life. It's the passion to make you strive, and I feel alive, no lie. You can cry, coming to daddy, save my life. But I'll always be here to ride until the day that I die. Thank you, up above. Hatred and full of love with they experience. But we see this common sense, and even common sense isn't common ass, it's full of shit. We taking it straight to the fire, baby. We taking it straight to the fire, baby. We taking it straight to the fire, baby.
Please don't stop. It's too hot.
We taking it straight to the fire, baby. But this lawnmower won't stop, so now I'm stuck in the seat trying to cut the shit with no shaw. Look where I'm at. The multiple rapid rats. Raised at the garden, there no weeds that can be smoked, no toast when I choke them out before they make me croak. Watch the dirty mouth like soap, that's all correct. When you speak to your elders, use some respect.
It's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop. It's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop. It's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop. It's It's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. They want to be Nipsey and that's great. How you gonna be here when your heart is full of hate? Hypocritical or racist. Nipsey stood for peace, even the Crips and the Bloods will be. So the streets, we got too many disease, losing the way and lead the troops again. Gaining momentum as we speak. You see, we need the bees of kings of all the greed.
We can put it in the water, we're forcing it on our seas. Trapped in the verses, that's in their God for forgiveness. Straight to the passion, doesn't holler about no digits or dollars. You check Obama, we got the drama.
I'm gonna pick my fighters up. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby.
You already know that was your boy in the building putting it down, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep doing that every time. But first, let's go ahead and get in on it. I know y'all been waiting to hear what we got to talk about in this. But actually, before we do that, I do need to do one thing. I gotta cover my own ass on this because the lawyers ain't gonna keep messing with me if I don't. So let's go ahead and get the disclaimer in. You heard me?
Being Western Radio, Southside bosses, its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the site or this radio station, and opinions between talk show hosts may conflict. This site does not endorse anything that's the truth. That you will have to judge for yourself. But we try to speak the truth on the owner's behalf and reserve the right to question the supposed truth. In this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and government corruption, it is sometimes hard to get to the truth, but we must try. It is not our intention to libel, discriminate, make hate, or annoy anyone. We believe that it is our constitutional First Amendment right of free speech to voice our opinions and our duty to the Constitution and country to expose the truth. This site takes no responsibility for the opinions of others and the postings of comments in chat rooms or forum posts.
But ain't saying nothing. Yes, it is, boy. We talking and we gonna bring you something. So make sure that y'all tune in for this, man, for real. Because, man, they just released the body footage from Jermaine Petite, who was shot by the police about a month and a half ago. Now, the police said that they shot him because he had brandished a imitation firearm, saying that they didn't know it was a real gun, so they had to actually act on that because that's what the call was for. Somebody called in saying that there was a man walking around with dreadlocks. You're gonna hear we're gonna play the video for you, but I want y'all to make sure y'all pay attention to the actual fact that the police said that, nah, bro, that ain't no gun. He says, nah, bro, that ain't no gun, but the police still pursued with the intentions of shooting this person, this black man with dreads. You know what I'm saying? And I take this guy. This is a little personal for me because of the simple fact that, man, I'm a melanated person. I'm a melanated Asiatic with dreads. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to look out for each other. So what I wanted to show y'all is this video of what happened and watch what the cop tell the other cop, but they still proceed to shoot this man. So just bear with me one moment while we get this going. You heard me? Okay, right here, share. And y'all just watch this video here, man. Now, they're chasing him down.
Hey, come here. Hey, take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket.
Now, I don't know if you heard that like I heard that, but what I heard was him say it's not a gun. But let me. Okay, all right, because I see that I got something up. My apologies. I really want y'all to see this, and everybody that's listening to the podcast right now, you can actually go to our website, at our YouTube page, Southside Bosses, because we definitely want to show y'all exactly what is going on here. So once again, we are going to pull this up so that you can see this again. Here we go. Let's go back. Minute 18. Hit and it starts.
Hey, come here. Hey, take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket.
It's not a gun, bro. Did you hear that? Did you hear the fact that he said that it was not a gun? Not a gun. So if it's not a gun, what deadly force do you actually need to take now? It shouldn't be any deadly force that needed to be taken. But watch this. Continue to watch as they continue to pursue this suspect.
Hey, drop it.
But this wasn't a gun, though. This wasn't a gun. This was not a gun. He specifically said it is not a gun. Yet they still felt the need to take excessive force. There's just no way else to explain the fact that the orders from higher up have been given to exterminate as many of us as possible. But why? We all keep saying it's racism and things of that nature. But why would the higher ups give an order like that, knowing that they're under the scope? They're under the scope of the whole world now. See, the world is starting to wake up. And we Asiatic melanated people are starting to wake up and realize that we're not really crayons. We are human beings. So we're starting to make moves. So they have been given the orders to heat the pot up. So all the crabs that's in the pot, they're going to boil alive. They're going to be boiled alive. And that's what I mean by the heat is cranking up. If you understand the concept of the dualities between the good and the evil, the positive and the negative, you understand that there has to be an accurate balance for it, right? Well, this is them trying to unbalance the scales because they already see that we're not going anywhere. We are the original. So we will never fade. They will fade because they're the copy, the carbon copy. That's just what it is. They are the carbon copy. So they know they have to eventually come back into the originality that Mother Nature put forth. And they're fighting that. They need most of us gone as possible so that they can continue to relish in their spoils that they got in all the wars that they have waged in the 6,000 years of their existence. Now, am I saying that this is like all white people? No, I'm not saying this is all white people. I'm just saying the powers to be predominantly are white. Predominantly are not even white. They're hybrid Europeans. They've been giving y'all this false bravado that there's a race. Well, I'm going to break some news to you. They consider me white because my family is from North Africa. My family is from Northwest Africa, from the Mauritania, Morocco area. Yeah. So since my family is originally from there, they consider me white. I'm white to them. You know why I'm white to them? Because it has nothing to do with the skin complexion. They rigged this game up so that they make sure that you stay in the position that you're in so that they can do what you just saw that they did to Jermaine Petite. Now, Jermaine Petite is an Air Force veteran. So to give you a little bit of background about him. So he's an Air Force veteran. He's fought for this country. And in return, he ended up with PTSD. So what ended up happening is what they thought was a gun, which I'm going to show you in just a moment, was not a gun. And it was something that couldn't even be mistaken for a gun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not in my eyes. So let's continue to watch this video as they show you what it actually was. So bear with me.
Bronson. Hey, stop reaching for it! Stop reaching! Stop reaching for it! Stop reaching for it! Don't move! Don't move!
It's going to slow it down and zoom in on exactly what it was. Now look closely. This is what they saw. This is what they saw and thought was a gun. After they cleared it that it wasn't a gun. He simply turned around and what he had in his hand, they saw it. That keep looking.
Get on the fucking. What's that in your hand? What's that in your fucking hand? Oh. What is? Bro, you said that's not a gun?
But you said it's not a gun? Huh? Now, as you see, they corroborated that it was not a gun. They corroborated that it was not a gun. They said that it was not a gun. So why did you have to shoot him? Do you even know what it was? It was an auto part. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. It was an auto part that got this man shot because they thought it was, no, they didn't even think it was it. They knew it wasn't a gun. They knew it wasn't a gun. So how do you actually explain that to the people who are asking questions? How do you explain that? How do you explain that this man lost his life because you thought a simple auto part was a gun? It's amazing to me that we continue to play these games and act like we don't know that they're games. Yeah. So let me show you exactly what it was. It was this right here. I don't know if you can zoom in on it. I wish I could get closer. Matter of fact, man, can I get closer? I can get close. It ain't gonna let me because that's how big the picture is. But that's the piece right there. Let's go ahead and go to this is the piece right there. Right there. That. What kind of gun is that? Can anybody tell me what kind of gun would look like that? A pea shooter? A little one shooter? So as you can see, they have cranked the heat up. They are going to get whoever they want to get, and they have to do it quickly. Why? Because it's coming to the end. This is why you need to go to our Revolutionary Hour podcast that you can find on every streaming service: Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, MP3, Deezer, and more. Hit that follow button and listen to those podcasts because I'm telling you, we are in the we in the last days. I ain't trying to sound like no Christian, but we in the last days. We are in the era where it's do or die. And you can continue to play their game. You can continue to walk every day doing what they want you to do. Or you can actually get on board with Mother Nature and That's the winning team. Can't nobody beat Mother Nature. When Mother brings the cure, we're all cured, as Taj Tariq Bey has said. I don't understand why we are actually trying to our hardest to play their game, to be black when our skin does not scream that. Our ancestors did not want to be Toby. He wanted to be Kunta. But you being Toby instead of Kunta. You are the reason we are in this. We get so emotional that when somebody, especially one of us, say, oh, this slavery is a choice. I'm going to tell you like this. I'm with Robert Smalls. Robert Smalls stole a Confederate boat, learned them Confederate hand signals so that he could sail through Confederate ships all the way up to the north so that he could be freed. He chose not to be a slave. I like to be like Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman decided that not only will she get away from this bullshit, but she's also going to bring as many people as possible with her. She chose not to be a slave. I can continue going. Nat Turner, who died in the biggest slave revolt on this soil, chose not to be a slave. Yeah, there's choices that can be made. So either you choose to live as a slave or you choose to die as a freeman. Because when you decide that you're going to sacrifice your life so that you can be free is the moment that you are free. You got to throw off these chains of these badges of slavery that you continue to hold on to. You're not a fucking Negro. They let you have that because it's simple fact that you didn't want to be called a nigger anymore. They're the same damn thing. Where you think the word nigger came from? Negro. And then when you break it, Negro is a fucking term that means a color. It doesn't mean a human. And you claim you want to be that. Why? Because they said that they white. They said they white, so we got to be black because they pink and we brown. And the marshes are green and the people underwater are blue. People of the sun are orange. I'm not understanding this concept of wanting to be shackled to these badges of slavery. You have a chance. You have an opportunity now to go back to what your ancestors were. The Egyptians or the Egyptians as you know them, or the Kemets that you know. They was not ever a color. They weren't. The Ethiopians. The only reason they became a color is because the Greeks saw them and said, oh, they're Ethiopians because our Ethiopian means burnt face. They weren't even Ethiopians. They was Cushites. Hamites. That's what they were. But, oh, since these people who only started being in existence 6,000 years ago decided to tell you that they're white, so you decide that you're going to take on the term that they said is the opposite, which is black, not even understanding what that actually meant. That is, and a lot of y'all, I'm going to break a lot of y'all heart. Y'all talk about these woke black people who continue to say black power, black pride, and all that. You're equivalent to the Christian black. You're equivalent because you're still holding on to something that was taught to you by your oppressor. We was black sons of bitches only up until a couple of hundred years ago. A few hundred years ago, excuse me. That's when we became black sons of bitches. Before that, we wasn't. Before that, we was their gods, their goddesses. Why? Look at what we can do. They couldn't do that. They couldn't look like that. They couldn't gather that strength. But yet you choose to continue being dominated by them. The people who couldn't match us, so they outwitted us. They got smarter than us. We taught them everything we know, and then they was like, oh, well, we can use this then. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're using it. They're using the power that we gave them against us, and you're allowing it because you think that what they gave you is something that's all bullshit. And I'm talking to the woke blacks now. Y'all think it's all bullshit and lies, but in all actuality, what they're doing is they're trying to counteract karma. See, you got to understand karma is a real force. We taught them about karma, so they understand that karma is real. They seen that karma is real. So what they have to do is they put you through so much hell, they tweak your truths just a little bit so that they lies, and then they feed it back to you, knowing that you're going to take it because you are holding on to badges of slavery. It's the only thing you know. This is what you was born in. You are afraid to look outside of the box. This is for Black Christians, and this is also for Black woke people. Anybody who continue to go across this go along with the caste system of white, black, brown, orange, pink, yellow, blue, Singapore, or whatever the hell you want to go, fuchsia, if you want to be fuchsia, if you continue going, that is a system they made. We keep saying that. We keep saying that the Constitution does not include us, but yet we keep trying to be included. What the fuck they do that at? I apologize about my language, but we have to understand one thing real quick is that we'll never win playing somebody else's game. We've been playing their game for long enough. They've been stealing from us, using the money that they steal from us to pay the people that kill us. We are the only people that pay for our own destruction. You don't see this in any other part of the world. Only in America. The third world country with a Gucci belt on. But y'all would never, y'all get emotional. I bet you right now, sitting here, if you made it this far into the video, this means you already know what I'm talking about is real. And you probably don't even associate yourself with that race schism at all. See, y'all say racism. It's not racism, it's race schism. Look it up. This is where the whole word racism comes from. This is how prejudice came out and all the other isms came about, because racism was really a race schism. But you don't actually know that because they didn't teach you how to read. And they taught you a Crayola, but they didn't teach you how to read. So all we could do is continue to play their game because that's all we know. But then when somebody tells you that you're not black, your emotions rise up. Oh no, you ain't finna just disrespect my ancestors, my black ancestors, and them black gods and goddesses of all the ancients. Let me tell you something right now. The word black didn't exist until the 1100s. And guess who came up with the word black? It's a Germanic word. It's a Germanic word. It's a Germanic word. I don't know if you heard me. It's a Germanic word. Germanic. German, you already know what the Germans say. If you ain't not the Germans, excuse me, let me take that back. We already know what the main Germans used to think, that if you ain't blue eyes, blonde hair, fair skin, you ain't shit. You need to die. And the funny fact is that nigga wasn't even that. See, I can call him a nigga because that motherfucker was ignorant as fuck. Now, the only people that need to live on this earth is something that I'm not. They could then start with killing yourself. We can get that out the way real quick. But we don't understand that. So, but we will one day. And I'm going to tell you how we will. We're going to continue to cover stories such as the story that you just heard about Jermaine Petite. They released the body cam footage. They actually acknowledged it wasn't a gun, and they still pursued him, which I understand, but they still shot him down like a damn dog, saying that he was armed, and he really wasn't armed. So when we come back after this brief break, again, it's going to be a word from one of our sponsors and a little bit of music from your boy, Mr. E, boss of the Southside Bosses. We're going to discuss the tale of two Donovans, because this is shows you more evidence that they have given the orders to crank down and crank up and lock us down. And while I'm going, I want you to take this 2, 3, 4, 5 minute break to look up King Alfred plan. We're going to discuss that one more time about the King Alfred plan, because with these new uh, uh, stories coming out about these black people that just unarmed black people that just losing their lives traumatically, we're going to have to discuss it, because the King Alfred plan is exactly what's going on right now. And let's go ahead and take a moment to break off. We're gonna listen to a little bit of music. And before I tell you to do that, please go find us on your favorite streaming service, whether it's iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon MP3, more. We even on YouTube. You're probably watching us live on YouTube right now. You can also find our Facebook group page on obviously on Facebook at El Kebulan Society. Don't know how long that's going to stay up because they like shutting me down real quick. But we're going to be putting up files here real soon. We already put up the Emerald tablets by Thoth the Atlantean, so make sure y'all go through and check them out. I mean, we're going to make sure that y'all got all the information and all the knowledge that you needed. So please go join our Facebook group page, our Kebulan Society. We also can find us on our website at sbcmovement.com, because just in case Facebook decides that they don't want me no more, or Twitter, they don't want me no more, I'm talking too much truth, or Truth Social, they don't want me no more because I'm talking too much truth. Oh, we can't be having that. And Instagram, oh, we can't be having that. TikTok, oh, you can find me on my website, sbcmovement.com. You can see it right there on the ticker at the bottom. Make sure y'all stay tuned in, turned up, and we're gonna zone out on a little bit of music right now. This is On Everything by your boy, Mr. E, boss of the Southside Bosses, baby. You already know what it is. All right, I'll be right back. I just gotta go get a refill. Can I get a refill?
When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got a option. I'm working on fixing my cuss. I'm taking no such with no loss. I'm finding some peace when the man's came. I'm finding some peace when the chance came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's the last thing. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's the last thing. I stay on my job, that's the last thing. Give it to them all, that's the last thing. I stack on these, that's the last thing. I put on these, that's the last thing. Ain't no going back, that's the last thing. Stay strapped, that's the last thing.
What's the cool situation for obliteration? Stuck us in the project, started us racing. Kissing up the game like we about to hit the bank, like a money, cause we have to show them what they really facing. Invest in a motherfucking destiny. About to go to war, but it's never gonna rest. I know there's a peace in the streets of America, a land where the dark people stress. Oh yes. You can always check out Mr. E the Gutter, baby. You can find us also on all streaming services. Put in Mr. E the Gutter, baby. You heard me? I don't put on music no more though. I don't rap no more, but this shit here go fire, you know what I'm saying? What a 40 acres for the music that you from a distant day, okay? I do this for my people not equally original. Kind of makes sense for you motherfuckers copy style. Like I break it down like a motherfucking pound. I'm around if you really want to get it right now. I do this for my people not equally original. Kind of makes sense for you motherfuckers copy style. Like I break it down like a motherfucking pound. I'm around if you really want to get it right now.
I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on fixing my cuss. I'm taking no such no loss. I'm finding some peace when the man's came.
I'm finding some peace when the chance came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's a weird thing. Make sure y'all share us to all your family and friends, man. We do news a totally different way from all these other people. They want to be all precise. Nah, I'm gonna give it to you like straight like the streets give it to you. Heard me? Yo, decent style children don't kill them all. This ain't but only the truth. This is people in my head and they all hate me. But I'm a soldier, motherfuckers can't take me on everything. I love it, the truth. You can't break me. They say more money, more problems. I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on fixing my conscience. I'm taking no shorts with no loss. I'm finding some peace when the mess came. I'm finding some peace when the chance came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's an everything. No, I do it for y'all. That's from everything. I give that's from everything. Give it to them hot. That's from everything. That's from everything. That's from everything. That's from everything. That's from everything.
So outrageous that you can't think. This stupid mother crazy situations happen all the time, and people get into situationships on a regular. So, what would you do if you were in their place? Check out our podcast as we discuss just that on What Would You Do podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all your other favorite streaming services. Make sure to search hashtag What Would You Do podcast.
Yes, you definitely need to make sure y'all tune in this Sunday, man. This Sunday it is going down. We have our first episode for the second season of What Would You Do? So we're gonna be cranking up. We're gonna be doing some big stuff, man. So y'all make sure y'all tune in, turn up and zone out with that, man, because we're gonna make sure we have some hits for y'all, man. So hey, this Sunday we're gonna give y'all a sneak peek. I usually ain't supposed to do this, but y'all here, y'all with me, you know what I'm saying? Me. So we're gonna put this Sunday. This is the scenario. So you get a call from the hospital saying that your spouse has been in a major car accident and their life is on the line. So you rush down there. Hurry, you get off of work and you gone. You down there and you get everything in to get up there to your significant other. So boom, you get to your significant other and you sitting on the side of their bed and you asking them, "Are you okay, baby? Are you doing good?" Yeah. And they doing good. They doing good. You know what I'm saying? It was a close call. You know what I'm saying? But then you realize that this is not just a single man room. This is a 2-man room. So when you inquire about who's in the next bed, you find out that from the nurse's point of view, them 2 people came in together. Turns out that was your spouse's side piece. So are you staying there to help them, or are you going to leave them right then and there? We want to know what you're going to do in that situation, because hey man, it's going to be good. We got some good responses and we definitely want to look at all of them, man, because it's going to be crank the F up. Already, but back to serious business right now. We got to understand that we are been hanging on to these badges of slavery forever, and it's time that we stop doing that. So what I wanted to show y'all is a tale of 2 Donovans. Very recently, and it's a shame that I don't hear about this more on the news, but there was a man, Donovan Lewis, who was just pronounced dead a week ago, at the hospital after the Columbus police shot at him in his own bed. Yes, an Ohio officer, killed a 20-year-old black man seconds after opening his bedroom door. Now, the police have every excuse in the book, but the killing was captured on police body camera. The man was not armed and was identified by authorities as 20-year-old Donovan Lewis, who was killed by Ricky Anderson, a Columbus police officer with decades of experience. Decades of experience. I want y'all to keep that in y'all head right there, because that's a clue to show you that this is a very dire mission that they have to put out. They have to pull the photos now. But according to the court records, Donovan was being served with an arrest warrant on charges of improperly handling a firearm, assault, and domestic violence. Okay, yes, we got a violent crime. Good. But in the body cam footage aired by NBC4, the police officers were shown knocking on an apartment door for about 8 to 10 minutes before being met by a man who opened the door. Upon entering the apartment, though, officers found another man and detained them both. Now, they're not telling you what they detained them for. The officers then released the police dog, which trotted around the kitchen, and then barked at the bedroom door, which Anderson was in the bed. It was in that bedroom. So not Anderson, excuse me. Miss Lewis was in that bedroom. So Anderson held the dog back before opening the door and then immediately fired his gun into the bedroom as Lewis sat up in bed. Like, he didn't even give the man a chance. So you could break it down in a frame by frame breakup of this video. The police chief, Elaine Bryant, said that Anderson fired the gun when Lewis appeared to raise his hand while holding on to something. So you didn't know what it was. You didn't know what it was. But Bryant comes on and say there was like a vape pen that was found on the bed right next to him. And what the fuck that got to do with it? It was a vape pen. The vape pen looks nothing like a gun, just like that auto part looked nothing like a gun. It's amazing how we can continue to see this time after time after time again, and we continue to approach it with the same solutions, I guess you want to call them, that we've been going at it with, that does nothing for us. Now, thankfully, I hope this means something, because sometimes it don't. In Ahmaud Arbery's case, it did. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation took over this investigation. So they hopefully will be able to actually see if there's any chances that there was a propensity that these cops would have done this. Because if not, why would this veteran, decades veteran, do something like this? Kill Donovan Lewis while he's in his bed and say that a vape pen looked like a gun. Again, they're cranking up the heat on us. They're cranking up the heat on us, and it's a reason why. Again, check out Revolutionary Hour. But you also have so many experiences like another one. We said we were going to bring you the tale of two Donovans. That was Donovan Lewis. Well, I want y'all to meet Donovan Johnson. Donovan Johnson was actually walking home from work in February of last year when he says that it was an Arlington, Massachusetts police officer ran up to him and told him to drop to the ground. So Mr. Johnson, he was confused. He didn't know what to do, so he continued to stand there and ask what was going on. That's when the officer, Stephen Conroe, pointed his gun at the 20-year-old black man and threw him to the ground face first and put a knee in his neck. Now, you would have thought that we would have learned this shit from George Floyd, but apparently we did not. We didn't. Because maybe they was promised not to be treated like the murderer that murdered George Floyd. They don't know any better either. These cops are pawns. Pawns, I tell you. And just see that when he threw him down face first into concrete, that obviously shows no care for this boy at all. That ain't even a big part. I know what you're saying. Well, that happens to black people all the time. Yeah, when they fit the description. No, because until he ran across Mr. Donovan Johnson, they was chasing a white person. And you already know that white person is supposed to be pale people, right? Well, if you look at Mr. Donovan Johnson, you could tell he has a big afro. Big afro. Matter of fact, I want y'all to get a good look at him. Because, yeah, he is with a whole afro. Watch this. Bam. Whole afro. Oh, wait, y'all can't see it. Sorry. Ooh. Ooh. Bam. Whole afro. Do that look like a white boy to you? I don't see a white boy. I mean, I can see he's mixed, but I don't see no hybrid European. Hybrid European being the people of pinker complexion. I don't see that. You don't see that. So how did they determine that he was the person that they were chasing just now? So Mr. Johnson is suing these people. At least he's been suing them since, and it's still 2022. We ain't hearing about none of this. Nothing. Nothing. See, the lawsuit is actually demanding unspecified damages and training for Arlington police on implicit bias, appropriate escalation, and interactions with bystanders. Because if it wasn't for a bystander, this man would have went to jail for something he didn't even do. And they would have stopped chasing that white person. Of course. Why would they want to catch the white person? That's like catching your own teammate. You don't tackle your own team. No, you don't do that. I don't care if they is running the wrong way. This is what I'm saying. There is so many different experiences of black people that could be culminated together and actually be seen as what it is. It's the King Alfred plan. Again, if you have looked up the King Alfred plan, then you have seen that this fits so much into the plan. It looks like this is actually the plan, because you know why? It's the plan. You cannot sit here and say that it is not. Now, I want to go on and say that Wikipedia, because you know anybody can enter anything in Wikipedia, says that the King Alfred Plan is a fictional CIA-led scheme supporting an international effort to eliminate people of African descent. Wow. This was supposedly invented by an author named John A. Williams in his novel, The Man Who Cried I Am. Now, I think that's very funny, as he named his novel The Man Who Cried I Am, and also Yahweh is I am that I am. The man who cried I am, the man who cried he was God. And look at this. I'm just saying, we need to take into account that there is so much that is happening right now. Oh, soon the concentration camps will come. They just won't be called concentration camps. Right now, they call it detainment camps. Up under the Trump administration, it was called immigration reform camps, or whatever they decided that they wanted to call. I don't know. It was kind of weird. But as we can see, it has nothing to do with us being human. We're still being herded like cattle. And your own people are selling you down the road. So this is all up on you. Are you going to continue to play their game, or are you going to let this shit go, man? I say you let it go. But I can't give you all the answers. Because this is when you're supposed to determine, are you a person, a human, a natural person? Because if not, well, you'll fall to the wayside. I hope y'all got something out of this, because I don't want to see anybody actually fall to the wayside. It's just not, it's not feasible. So if you got something out of this, I hope you share it to your family and friends. And I actually hope that you actually make some moves. I mean, go listen to Revolutionary Hour. If you don't want to listen to me no more because I drag on or whatever, go look Taj Tariq Bey. Go look him up. He told you what was going to happen since the 80s. Actually, before then. But the 80s is when he was actually pumping with the Moors of the Round Table. So I'm going to go ahead and log up out of here. But before I log up out of here, you know I got to give you a word from my sponsor. Plus a little bit of music. This is I'll Keep Fighting by Mr. E, the Gutter Baby. And again, make sure y'all go and go and share our music to everybody. Excuse me, share these podcasts to everybody that you know. That way we can get some actual effects going on in this thing, because we got to keep fighting. If we don't keep fighting, man, we gonna be in the ground with no efforts, man. Come on, man. You got to make it better for your seed. Like I told my seed, they got to make it better for them tomorrow. They have to be better than they was yesterday. Ever at night. Oh, 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 oh.
I'm used to living for me. So get money against great people like me, and we can make it through these storms. When you got family and friends, you can make a heart listen to with your peace of warm. So when it's on, can't deliver that before you win about something. It's better about you are the famous, but not gonna be able to be your chum. But when did you finish up like something ain't gonna choke, shoot it down in the streets? And I ain't talking about just the belief that it's better for free, giving more people free. But if we hear about that, so next you hear you see this good about that. We're starting to know that the difference is made to be clear about friends, so back that drop. And you wonder why y'all so much less, I mean, about school, every gun down. Open up, but with you when you put up, when you got your gun down. You won't stop me now. No, no, no. I can do whatever, make it through whatever. Should never make it through whatever. Some of you trying to take me out, but the bus didn't know anything about scout. Calling you know what from the south, organized feels like a body count. So I need to when I take that route, ended up in Texas, watch out out. I can see the stomach coming up like walking down the street, sibilantic climbing out. When opportunity rises a bird like a lion, hunted to proceed to pound. We're going to make rubs go ahead and say, get all the dough that I need to pound. I'm gonna come up over an ounce, even though one way 165. Even if I'm all got people needing me, so you know I'm gonna come back live. Come back ride, let it really good on that soul. Never shift don't go west to get us that these shit don't hold them goes. Now we doing with a plan to take back what they so they get rough but old. I'm gonna let them up, get rough and tough and make them cowards bold. You need to know my soul is gold. If it wasn't for my kids, I'd be so old. Right, these bones can make you grow some mold until your body's cold. Just like Tyson, keep on fighting, but every day now that you choose is fighting. I'm gonna shoot through the roof, that the roof never be and always shining. You won't stop me now. No, no, no. I can do whatever, make it through whatever. Should never make it through whatever. Picture what we said to be eating spam. It's hurting me even more. I'm hungry because I'm no longer eating ham. I'm trying to put it on me like go once. I know you people the final plan. I'm gonna creep up on the break off with the AK and get into that pocket. I'm gonna get me enough to stop it. I'm taking off my roof to rocket. I'm gonna give me a body. I'm gonna let me out like Johnny Cochran. I'm gonna get higher than a plane and get the fly like Mary Poppins. No stopping, let it be just dropping. No telling, will it be a selling? Pay to the benefit of this game. Back to the making they see hip hop in hell.
Hey man, y'all make sure y'all tune in with us. Y'all can follow our podcast. So Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, these and more. Is talking but ain't saying nothing on BOSS Radio.
You won't stop me now. No, no, no. I can do